In the top lane, yeah, we're gonna get Zac and Mundos, two tanks that synergize really, really well with the tank items. Not a lot of front to back for the Civet to play off of. There's a lot of backline access.
It's not a lot of front to back, and you're kind of asking the Braum to do a lot. But I think that's okay, because in effect, Civet likes to peel back, right? But her ult likes to go forward. Vex, Hecarim like to go in, and Civet ult can get you in there. You also have Mundo, who has kind of a hard time gaining access to the enemy team's backline with a Civet ult in there, and just the sheer amount of kind of disruption that can be caused by the Braum, by the Vex, and the Hecarim. Mundo can find this Ezreal, can find this Victor. Victor very immobile. It's just, can they keep that Echo away? Again, no point and click CC for the Echo. The Echo will cause havoc. As I did think maybe this Zac could be Flex of that support role.
I got a reconnect there on my side. Is that a... Are we in? Are we in?
I think we're in.
Are we in? I hope so. I hope so. Let's see what happens. They're running out into Summoner's Rift. The ping's
They're running. There's running and there's nothing happening though. We will have to adjust our scoreboards to put the Zac on the top lane.
Yes.
Oh, we're finally here. The match of the week. The match of the season. Finally.
I don't know what to say about this so far.
What
is life? Yeah, mentally has been shattered, but it's okay. We're just a bit. We hyped it up. We hyped it up, and rightly so, because it's a very big event.
Like we said, the early game is probably going to be a bit slower than expected. Teams going to be looking for their first item components before anything really starts to happen, and you can see the earlier vision being placed down.
Israel has also opted for the cull.
That's just
telling you know.
Yeah, I mean they're not looking to fight in that bot lane, but it's the two wards I want to draw aspect onto. Draw our vision onto. You've got the ward in the river from AsstroSmurfs, and you also got the ward just on that blue entrance. And you also there are two Maokai saplings just flanking that, so they're trying to gain vision in case the enemy team decided to walk in that river, but it doesn't really mean anything. But MDip's gonna walk up here again. He's just gonna try to farm first strike, I think.
Yeah, he's going to take a lot of poke for it, but he is Maokai support, so he doesn't really mind too much. His bot lane's going to get prio, and the first camp has been finished on one side, as Hawksbull is going to move on to the next camp. And we just wait. We wait for the impending moment when the conflict begins, and I suspect it's going to be in the top lane, potentially. When Zac hits level 3, huge power spike. As Maokai has a tendency to sort of outpoke your other laners, to the point where they don't all in you at any point.
Yeah, we get our level 2s in the bot lane, but obviously you can see the bot lane is going to be chill. But you got the junglers pathing opposite ways. You've got Mundo pushing the top lane to get a bounce. Around the time, probably Hecarim's going to be there, but I don't think he's going to crash in time to get the bounce so Zac is in a vulnerable spot. Unless he just walks up and starts just slamming this wave and pushing it. But I don't think we're going to see too much. We're going to probably just see poking in this bot lane. And probably they keep the wave in a spot where it's comfortable for them, and it can throw in a Hawksbull gank, which I think is very, very smart for the side of PlayBack.
Yeah, it might be that might have been in their game plan, especially with Hawksbull starting top side. You're expecting him to come bot side, so I imagine they're very, very careful, and they are talking about the potential of a Hawksbull gank. As 3 minutes hits and you sort of get very, very cautious in the bot lane. A lot of poke landing on this Braum, but he can sort of shrug it off. As Mysterious Girl is going to step on another Maokai Shroom. Or Maokai Sapling, rather.
Okay, Yusuf just trying to clear the wave. And you see the wave didn't bounce out. It's the same as the bot lane. It didn't bounce out at the time for a jungle gang, but it gives priority for the jungler to go down and get a skull, and we're just going to handshake the skull crabs. Both junglers on the same farm. Nothing too crazy going to happen from this. Maybe Hawksbull looks for a gank mid, but yeah, Jane is going to know Hawksbull should be around bot side with Ares swatting out that the blue buff is missing.
Yeah, and both junglers are going to back, and let's see what items they get. A Dark Seal on the side of Hawk's Bull, and
He's waiting for
Ares
no, he's waiting for that.
going for Kinchil Gem. Yeah, going for a bit more tankiness early. Maybe facilitate him being in the jungle for slightly longer, and potentially looking for ganks off of weird timings rather.
Yeah, but you have to see like the jungle pathing here. It's going to be very awkward because Hawksbull has to go top. He has to clean his camps out the Gromp top side. Now the Mundo is pushing in the lane, so there is a gank opportunity top. But there's this vision in the river, so Hawksbull has to guide around that skull grab being taken. There's a big trade in the mid lane for Jaina. But at the same time, Ares is going to be here for this bot lane. They're slowly pushing out the wave. It's not going to be too far out, but they just have to respect it. And they're probably going to be, as a typical AsstroSmurf thing, they're going to be looking for this first Drake.
Yeah, I think we have your jungler bot side, and your wave's going to be completely under turrets as well, and you're very, very healthy. So potentially, it's really drag favor for you, but Hawksbull is making his way down to the bot side. He's going to be crossing his Raptor camp pretty soon. I'm expecting a fight coming in. No, actually, they haven't bought in 5 minutes. They're probably just going to back up as the wave's going to freeze, and it would be catastrophic for any other AD carry, but it is a Sivir. Sivir has a lot of easy wave access and really good wave clear.
Yeah, I think the Sivir was fine if that freezes up. See, VNGC is going to recall, going to get CP back to mid lane. And again, nothing happening early, no objectives really being looked for. Both junglers just clearing top, one going top to bot, one going bot to top, and they're literally smearing each other. They're not really looking for much, and I think they're both just going to play for that level 6, play for their first item spike, and then look to make things happen.
Man, we called it.
Maybe we see something.
Solo bowler kill, maybe, as the Mundo's going to pop ulti, but Hikram's going to run him down. Doesn't have ulti of his own. The Relentless Onslaught's not going to be up in time as Yusuf uses his legs. The Moroccan warhorse is just going to trot his way under tower, and nothing happens.
I mean, he had to blow Flash there. He blew his ult to get out, which is pretty big for him. And it also answers it shows Ares on the top side of the map, and that's just gonna free up the Drake. Ares is gonna get a skull crab, but they're gonna lose one flash for a Drake, and I think that's the correct play here. You see something happen on one side, you take from the other side.
Yeah.
And this ball lane could be in a bit of a dangerous situation. Hawksbull is actually just gonna take a recall here, and I think Emder's gonna be looking to bait. But they probably can't find anything here. And the bot wave stays in a safe position for the side of PlayBack. Vince is trading his health bar to keep this wave in a good spot, which is not really the best place to do it.
Yep, and at 7 minutes, there's no action. Conversely, in the last game, at 7 minutes, I think there was 13 kills.
Yeah, we did have an ace level 1.
Yeah, so you can see the standard and like the respect that these players are giving to this game. Not really taking stupid fights, playing as smart as possible, playing a very disciplined game. Besides that one hard stack moment in the top lane where Yusuf almost died, everyone has been very, very consistent and very, very like respectful for the potential jungle games. You were talking about how Hawksbull and Ares are the sort of a highlight for this game, and everyone sort of recognizes that. Playing this very slow and safe game, not pushing out too far in the bot lane, not pushing out too far in the top lane, even if you're trading, just to make sure that you don't get caught on a weird timing.
Yeah, but you look at the pathing here from both junglers, and you have to, in a slow game, you have to look at jungle tempo and ask like who is getting more in this slower game. And Hawksbull's already got the first objective. He's going to be on this first move top. Now, his mid laner isn't there, and he's going to not have top prior, but he's going to be around here for this Herald. And obviously, they're not going to do anything for it, but it slows down AsstroSmurfs' reply of trying to go for a Herald play here. Obviously, there's a lot of wards in that top side jungle for Hawksbull, and I think he's just going to concede it and just go back bot.
Yeah, potentially look for something bot side, but there's also a lot of vision in the bot lane. I think there's 3 wards.
This vision control is crazy. You've got I think there's 4 wards. There's 4 wards on all 4 exits and entrances to that jungle. There's also a control ward on top side. So even if Hawks will try to sneak around and jump into that top rush, it wouldn't matter. So they should know exactly what Hawksbill is if he ever looks to gank.
Yeah, I wonder if production if Dabbers can hear us, can you like do a vision toggle so you can show everyone how dark it is for the side of PlayBack? I think it's PlayBack on the blue side.
On the blue, yes. They have their boss side of the river pretty lit up. So they're pretty safe around there, but it's the river entrances. Like Hawksbill stood on a ward right now. If he goes back up to make a play mid, the ward did just expire, so he's seen the ward. He knows he's on vision, and he's gonna bait out and walk back. No, he's not gonna do it. We see Beckler and Mysterious go respecting it. They know he's in the area, and they know the wave is pushing into them, so they're pretty okay with this.
There's a lot of fighting on the top side, but Zach has his second life as well. Almost got very, very excited, but unfortunately, nothing is gonna happen for a bit as people just sort of start ramping up to their mythics. Potentially at mythic spike, we're going to start seeing something. As the preemptive Civ Shield comes in, a lot of trade in the bot lane. This wave is quite big. The Bramling Advance is going to come through. The root's going to land on top of the Sivir. And unfortunately, it all goes and ends well as...
Oh,
I think yeah, AsstroSmurfs might get 2 kills from this. They come in at 1 ulti. Hawksbill is still bot side.
Oh.
Can he get anything done here? The dive is coming through, but it is a Braum. You have to be very, very careful about diving this. As 4 people on our bot side. Vex is also on bot side. Oh, the Vex ult team goes just wide. Okay, no, nothing's happened. Nothing's happened. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing catastrophic has happened except for the 1 kill. But the 1 kill resulted in was a result of some really good outplay. My dad or MDib. Ulting onto both of the bot laners and then dashing onto Beckler, making sure that Beckler couldn't flash out of that in time. And got rooted and knocked back into the Ezreal and just died.
I really like that from MDiv, like using the ult aggressively, and then flashing onto Beckler and sending the Braum one way and sending the ADC the other, so then Vince can just clean it up. And it could have got a bit hairy there at the end there. Hawksbill could have cleaned it up with the second, and also Vince just reacted pretty solid with that E. From the Vexel, which is a pretty long cooldown early. The Vexel, it's not something you want to be using and get like missing on. It would have been a free kill if you got a hit. Like the guy was so low, he would have just been dead in 1 shot. But they also got the ghost out of Ares. And they're looking again here.
Oh, Beckler got a bit impatient there as the engage is going to happen bot side. Hawksbill is here as well. Doesn't really bode well for your health server to be fighting when there's a jungler bot side. As Beckler's just going to walk away from that. The True Shot Barrage is going to come through. Lots of chunky damage. There's a dive potentially coming. The wave is massive. Beckler, can you get out of here? It's going to take a bit, but no. Hawksbill going to get it. Rewind time. He gets out of there. Fleet stun as Jaina Proud is not here for a bit of the action, but the Bramling Advance is going to stop them in their tracks. Zach is... Yusuf came bot lane as well, as long as assumes. There's a lot of fighting happening in the bot lane.
They're going to get a bot lane. MDiv's game to play solo.
And yeah, the MDiv just got a solo plate on top of the True Strike that he has already.
Okay.
As Jaina's going to go for the kill. I think, yeah, Jaina gets a lot of damage there, being 2 levels up on support. Gets all of that damage, gets the entire wave. Waste not, want nots and all that. As they walk away from that 4v4 skirmish 2-1. As Time here is challenging... Jaina Proudmore there. The flash is going to come through, but nothing's going to be of that. As Atros, do you have the damage to kill him? No, it has the second life. Just go drop the Herald, get the gold, and get out of there.
Yeah, and Jaina committed the flash there to try killing Vince, but Vince just eat away. That's a big cooldown. Like a flash on a Vex, that's quite a big thing for her, for the Vex, to just use liberally like that. But that fight right there, it showed that everyone's willingness to commit to this bot lane. The bot lane get caught out. Hawksbill comes, just repeats the play that was done prior, cleans up the kill, gets out. You got a TP down from the Mother, and the instant reply from Yusuf, which is actually such a better reply because obviously the Zac can cover more ground than the Mother. The Mother just kind of stood there. He starts marshalling the Maokai out, but you've got your Braum that's just kind of stuck in no man's land, and he's finished up by the Zac who just drops on his head. And yeah, this early game going from pretty slow to the pace picking up pretty quick. The gold lead not too much, but this lead in the bot lane is it can become pretty strong here. But MDib might get caught again. He's just gonna use his Maokai ult.
Yeah, Bremlin gonna rip the Vex, tell it to sit down, take a chill pill, calm down for a bit. And he gets away with his life there. I just realized there's not a single ignite in this game. There's no real early kill pressure besides MDib.
Yeah. I mean, he uses ignite really well there.
Yeah, secured 2 kills in the bot lane. Secured 3 kills in the bot lane. Not sure if his ignite did all of that, but his ignite participated in some capacity.
Yeah, and I mean his ult again in that second fight there with the TPs. It's got the Braum stuck, so the Braum couldn't follow the Vex, and it caused the Mundo to lose his shield, and the Mundo was kind of like lost. Like, do I go this way? Do I go that way? I'm not really sure right now. And I think this is what the style that PlayBack are going to probably look to play. You've got MDib that can dive and get out. You've got Ezreal that can kind of like smoke and mirrors. And you also got Zac that can kind of come from nowhere, following up a Maokai ult, which can actually just cause chaos. And it's not something I really thought of they could do early in the game. I think later in the game is something they'd want to look for more. But MDib again.
I just tuned into stream and I saw the abbreviation for AsstroSmurfs was ass.
Yep.
Unlucky.
That shit is ass, bro. Okay, Beckler is slowly clawing back this CS deficit. There is a CS lead in the top lane, but it's Mundo into Zac, so it doesn't really count. Whereas other lanes, I mean the mid lane, both players just farming solidly up. Both hit their first items. I think Veg's probably stronger at this point in the game, just to the fact that she can blow up people pretty quickly. The Victor's no slouch with DPS.
Yeah, Mundo's just gonna give Yusuf a bit of a business report there.
Giving him the work.
Give him the work.
He's giving him the work.
Yeah, his Trinity Force is finally finished on Israel. That cull also completed, and he starts working on stacking that Manamune, which is gonna evolve into Miramana. And he's going to hit his power spike very, very soon.
Yeah, and Hawksbill took the Herald during all of that, and then took the Skullcrab straight away. So, I mean, they've lost one objective this entire game so far, which was that first Herald that was used top to get gold exclusively on the Hecarim. Didn't get used for anyone else. And now you've got the second Herald for your Echo, and you could look to really blow up one of these side lanes, or you could look to really open up that mid lane and cause a little bit more uncertainty for AsstroSmurfs and start pushing your lead. Your 1k goal lead, you push it a little bit more forward. You've got Drake in 54, 52. I mean, it'll put you onto soul point, but looking for a play here.
Yeah, as the Braum is going to be committed here, but time gets very elusive here. TP's going to be coming in as well. Bremlevant's not going to do enough damage. Ticking dead as Hecarim dies almost instantly. Yusuf, the workhorse, gets one more kill on top of the Sivir. Beckler dies as well as Mysterious Girl. That TP from Yusuf came in very, very massive, and it's a 5v5 bot lane, and the side of AsstroSmurfs loses 3 in the equation.
Yeah, and that Hecarim just went way too deep. They saw anything of it. Might get a little bit more afterwards, probably not. But they saw an angle, and they went for the Braum ult, and it caused the Maokai to flash out. Great flash from MDib, and immediately ults. Time Gear or Vince gets out underneath the turret, and I think Ares just got caught on the end of the Maokai ult, on the edge of it, getting rooted under the turret, or he might be Maokai W, which just caused him to take so much damage. They might look to fight this. The Vexor because it's going to go into the pit, but it's not going to go too far. He's just going to tank it.
Yeah, Vexor's got blocked almost instantly, but Zac's going to die the first time. Still has his passive up, but it's a lot of people who are stuck in the pit. The Echo also is going to stun 3 people up. Zac's going to die in all of this.
Oh no!
Sunfire okay, Quincy's Patricia Barrage just narrowly misses by a hair as Mysterious Girl.
Oh no, the Gromp!
Oh, but that is Black ends up killing someone. Ends up killing Mysterious Girl there, and Hawksbill's going to clean up Sharon Proud Boy in the process. The Gromp is truly the MVP. As Zooms is in a very weird spot right now, but Hawksbill does a lot of work. As he's going to get 450 gold for his troubles. Potentially get one more. I don't think he has the damage, but now he's going to get one more. That's a 4-man skirmish. They get 4 people from that. And they get a dragon and put them on Dragon Soul.
That fight was that fight, I really liked it from AsstroSmurfs. They called it the fact that a lot of ults were used previously. They don't have a lot, and they're stuck in that Baron pit. They don't have a lot of escapes, not a lot of flashes. So we can just send it on them. We can force them. If we don't get the Drake, we can force it. We can force just a fight to get gold. And I really like that. It got a bit hairy for AsstroSmurfs. They got out until Mysterious Girl gets killed by the Gromp, and then Janus is going way too deep on the Vex. Just in no man's land, and then you got like just a cleanup coming afterwards from Vince. Now 3-0-6 on his Ezreal. I asked him for more, and he's providing more.
The Vex also got blocked by the Zac when she was trying to go into the pit because she hit
yeah.
Zac. She hit Zac on contact, so then she didn't manage to get all the way in.
Yeah, that was a big block for Yusuf. I don't know if he meant to do it, but like the fact that he was the one stood in the correct position for it to happen. If that Vexel got in that pit when all 5 of them were crowded so close, that could have been a disaster.
Yeah, 5-man fear is what it looks like. As the Civil ulti, the Endless Hunt is going to be not Endless Hunt, something to do with hunts. But regardless, Yusuf is in a very bad spot. The Moroccan horse has to sort of run away here, trotting. Yeah, the Moroccan horse.
No, he's the menace right here. He's just causing havoc. He's just causing havoc.
As Beckler gets 300 kills.
Yeah, that's gonna be a Baron. That's just gonna be Baron.
A Hoonie Baron, we call it. When your top lane dies bot lane, but you get Baron.
This could be a bit hairy. This could be a bit risky. The Vexel goes wide.
Hawkspill's in the pit, very, very low. Smites at 1.2. Smites.
Please, Vince, what are you doing?
As Jungler kills. Oh, Jaina Primal manages to kill Time Gear. It's a lot of real low HP. The stun is going to come through. Victor might be in trouble here. Sleepy Twin, can you get out of here? Do you have anything in the sack? But no.
Oh no.
It's going to be a Baron for 4 souls. And this is a lot of map control given up. One mistake has cost them dearly. This is potentially top turrets and mid turret combined. And the only Baron they have is on Hawkspill, I think. Hawkspill and MDiv.
Yeah, I think MDiv has it, yeah. I really like the call there from the side of Hawkspill.
Hawkspill's gonna clean up. Yeah, he's gonna kill up Zooms and get out of there.
Oh,
he's just gonna jump in. Is there anything here? No, there's not really anything. We can see how tanky Yusuf is getting as well, going for the Abyssal Mask into Radiant Virtue build. Lots of healing on him, lots of sustain. But on the other side of the Rift, we have a 217 stacked Heartsteel on Mundo.
Yeah, that can be an issue later into the game. But that fight there again, it's a really good call from PlayBack to say, let's do this Baron now. We have Leandries, we have Ezreal with 2. I think Ezreal did have Manamine at that point. We are in a really good spot. Their jungler is bot side. You can get up it pretty quick, but we can take this Baron. But they just go a bit too aggro, and the Vexel goes wide, so they feel a bit more safe. And Vince is just over the wall fighting no one. And I think MD might just be caught here.
Oh, the Shadow Surge is going to miss the really great smash, really get flash rather, getting away from that, keeping his gold alive. Keeping his worth up as well, keeping bodies on the Rift. As this Dragon's going to come up in the next 40 seconds. Let's see if they can contest this, or if we're going to see a soul. A Hextech soul on the side.
It is a death cap on the Echo now. 2 items coming through from literally everyone in the game except for those supports. But I see the issue here. Even as there's this 4K gold lead, the issue here for the side of AsstroSmurfs is that like they probably win the front to back, but they've won fights after fights have happened.
There's a lot of damage is happening. The TP comes through. The Zac's gonna jump in as well. But Siva is hitting. Siva's free hitting. She's actually managed to make her out of it, but Hawkspill chases her down, guns her down. Ezra's gonna get 2 more kills for the trouble. Mundo's gonna kill up 1, potentially kill up 2, but no. Zooms is not doing enough damage. Hawkspill, Yusuf, the Moroccan workhorse, actually did a lot of damage, peeling everybody, disrupting a lot of people, and Tangia managed to get 3 kills here. And ADC, who you said needed to step up, is showing up today.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I was thinking in this, like just before that, the 2 fights that AsstroSmurfs won pre that fight right there came after fights that had already happened. They answer back after literally straight. They get punched and they go punch right back. We saw it that third Drake. We saw it the Baron. This Drake, however, they don't. Everyone has everything. They don't have Playback don't have the disadvantage that they had in those previous fights, and they could just play through that choke. And yes, Ares got a great ult into the backline, but it means nothing if the Zac and Echo are on your Siv's face. Like,
yeah, but it's very disruptive. Like, disruptive to a degree that it's actually becoming problematic. And how do you save your AD carry so they can actually do enough damage to win you these fights?
a nice Hextech Soul, which is a big soul in terms of this game. I think the Civ would have loved to have that, and I definitely know. I know Vin's or the Ezreal really loves the Hextech Soul. I think Echo will also really love it. Just finding that auto attack, finding that slow onto the enemies through people, and they're gonna start fighting for this vision as the Makai will comes down.
Yeah, the Bramley Vance is going to come through, catch the Braum, and Mysterious Girl dies almost immediately here.
And there comes the Zac again.
The dive's not done. His quiver gets flashed and rooted almost immediately. I think this is... Do they have a wave to end off of this? Jada Problem, you have to go huge. Managed to kill one, but Hawkspool gets 2 kills from this. They can at least get one of the inhib turrets and potentially the inhib, but Mrs. Problem, or Jaina Problem rather, he had to stop it as well as Ares. So they can't end it, but they're going to take one air hit off of this. Unless they're threatening an end. No, they're hex skating out.
Sleepy Twin?
Yeah, I think Yep, the Hiccup was just going to run on top of the Victor, but this might be bait, actually. It's a 2v4, but we're going to make this a 3v2 almost immediately. Equal this up and make it a 3v1.
Uh-oh.
Ares gets 2 kills there? Ares walks in, catches Victor, kills Victor, and then proceeds to kill Hawksbull or Mdib and get out of there as if nothing happened.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're doing. I think they get in here when you run out, but they decide to take the Hex Gates, and then Yusuf takes the Hex Gate after like delaying it, and that just means Sleepy Twink was kind of just stood there lost in the source and just gets ran down. Yeah, you kind of bait them into the fight, but that Hecarim is strong. That's a 2-item Hecarim.
Yeah, and those 2 items are Spear Shojin and Stride Breaker, so a really like lethal combination, and we just saw that on display.
But eyes will be on this next objective. Now you've lost your mid inhib, but the mid inhib is probably the weakest inhib to lose. Probably the best inhib to lose, because you have a Sivir, you can just push waves, and it's kind of free farm like barring down the mid lane. Now the ADC item discrepancy is massive. There's a 3-item Ezreal, or Helpful might find a pick here.
Oh, Jaina Primal, you predicted this. Jumping into a Vex is going to fury up, and your engage is sort of gone. There's a good bit of poke is going to come through, and it's the big purple worm is now on the rift. How do they approach this?
And the side of Playback sideways are just not in a good spot. There's no pressure on the sides, so they... as the fight starts.
Yeah, there's the Vex ulti, the Shadow Surge is going to land. Bramley wants to try and dissuade this. Sivir is free hitting in the back line as the Surge is going to go through. She's going to ult. Sleepy Twink is actually doing a lot of damage. Hawksball's on top of the Sivir. Can Sivir do enough damage to kill this Hawksball? But no, Hawksball managed to kill her. It gets a double kill for his troubles as well. As Sooms is going to die here. I think they have a wave mid lane to end potentially. Yeah, they're just going to grab the Super Minion, and I think this is GG.
Yeah, and Vin's had that Vin's moment. He's so far ahead, but he's stepping forward. He gets hit by a Vexel, jumps into his entire team, brings the Vex into his team, and thank God you got Hawksbull and Sleepy Twink on your team just to carry that game, to finish that game off right there. That game was closer than it looks on paper.
The game was a lot closer than it looked. Even though it was a 10k gold lead, a lot of this game was tied up. For a majority of it, especially during the laning phase, and it was just towards the end of it that made this very, very